Hey Empire, another week, another review that we are dropping on you today, and it is for AEW Dynamite. This is the go-home show for Grand Slam next week, so it was chock full of action. There was so much happening tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's get into it. AEW got started with the first match of the night, it being Orange Cassidy taking on Chris Jericho, the feud that has been brewing for over 4 years. Orange Cassidy ruined Chris Jericho jacket 4 years ago, $7,000. Last week he ruined a Bentley. He didn't necessarily ruin it, he just dented up. He just dropped some coins on it, dented up, made it very tedious to clean up. So these two are having a match, and surprisingly, this match was actually pretty nice. It wasn't fast-paced, it wasn't too slow. Like, I feel as though this match was just right. It got started nice and proper with everybody, all the side characters getting involved, the rest of the learning tree, the rest of the conglomeration, just getting themselves out the way, letting this match be a proper one-on-one. Orange Cassidy wasted no time hitting his finisher straight off the bat, which was the orange punch, but a lot of damage had not been done, so obviously it did not work here. Chris Jericho fired back, locking in the walls of Jericho. Tonight, he tried that move so many times, and each time was more devastating than the last. But Orange Cassidy was able to work out of this. These two was exchanging pins in the middle of the ring, and this was just nice wrestling tennis. They were able to work their way outside, and in a no DQ match, Chris Jericho was able to pick up Orange Cassidy and drop him through a table. I don't understand why there wasn't a disqualification, but I'm not the ref. I don't make the rules. I would like to take this time to give Chris Jericho his flowers. He is 50 plus, and he is still doing moonsaults in the ring. He is still doing nasty code breakers. He is still putting his body on the line for the love of wrestling. And everybody just wants him to retire. I'm not in that conglomerate. I want him to step away for a little minute. Like I said, give me a reason to let you move away. Let my heart miss you for a little minute. But you got to give credit where credit is due. Chris Jericho is out there still working to the best of his ability, and it is still great work. Back into the ring, back into the action. Orange Cassidy was hitting his lazy kicks in the corner, with each one getting more and more aggressive. But he got a little bit too excited. He went for another orange punch, which Chris Jericho was able to muster up the momentum to hit a nasty clothesline for the near fall. Chris Jericho was in complete control, but you knew it was too good to be true earlier, because while the ref's back was turned, Big Bill made his presence felt again, and he hit Orange Cassidy with a big boot. Roger Strong was back out there to chop him down. He got tossed into the crowd for his troubles. Brian Keith came out to distract the referee. Mark Briscoe came out to greet him, but the referee was still distracted. That man, Chris Jericho, pulled out a roll of coins from his pocket. He was going to hit Orange Cassidy with it. He missed. Orange Cassidy got it. He hit the orange punch. 1, 2, 3. Orange Cassidy wins, and something tells me this feud is not over. Me, personally, the match was a hit, but this feud is a miss for me, because I don't necessarily, I understand why they're feuding, but I don't get why the feud is still going on right now. They hadn't necessarily put that lot of energy into it. Even though this past Saturday he did crack that picture over Orange Cassidy's head, I just don't really understand. I can't get invested into this feud, but I like everybody that's involved, so I'm not gonna hate it. It's just not for me. Next, Pac, Claudio, Jon Moxley, and Marina Shafir then demanded that Willa Yuta come back and help defend those trios championships. And it was kind of like, man, kind of like a guilt trip. Like, man, you know, you're a part of the team. We're not mad at you. We're disappointed. You need to show up to work. You're a part of the team. We have this faith in you. But at the same time, if you want to leave, you can leave. So this is interesting. I want to see what happens next week, because we immediately breezed to Willa Yuta leaving the arena, getting his answer. He is obviously distraught, shaken up, broken up about what happened to Bryan Danielson. He even forgot where they're fighting at. I think he called it Wrestle Kingdom, but that's like in a couple weeks from now. He's not even focused on it. And he left his title in the locker room. So obviously he's distraught, but he said he's a fighting champion. He's going to do what his mentor want him to do, and he's going to defend those belts. So this is going to be interesting to see what's going to happen next week. I'm all for it. Hit. Got to be a hit. We then got the bat signal for Hook, or the Hook signal for Hook. And he came out, local talent in the ring. It was a quick and easy squash match. Roderick Strong and the Undisputed Kingdom was on the outside. Three suplexes and red rum later, submission win for Hook. And he's just racking up wins until he can fight Roderick Strong for that FTW championship. Side note, Undisputed Kingdom, where is Wardlow? Where is Wardlow? Where is Wardlow? But we know Roderick Strong is great in the ring. Hook is nice in the ring. They're going to put on a good showcasing. Private Party then made their first mistake of the night, and they only make two mistakes. They made the first mistake tonight, and they were calling out the BCC for the open challenge that they're issuing out, and because that they attacked them last week. Like I said, mistake number one. Christian Cage was in the back with the rest of the patriarchy, and he was just being the biggest dick and ass possible to Renee and Kip Sabian Jr. In some way, shape, form, or fashion, this can go to one or two ways. Kip Sabian can take Nick Wayne away from the patriarchy, or Kip Sabian can join the patriarchy and basically tag under the tutelage of Christian Cage. Like, who else to take on that father figure role for Kip Sabian in the world of wrestling than Christian Cage, the ultimate kayfabe father? So we just got to see what this one leads to. We then had tag action next, and it was our AEW Women's Champion Mariah May and Serena Deeb taking on Queen Aminata and Yuka Sakazaki. And this match was my first showing of Sakazaki, and she did not disappoint. But it got started, and Sakazaki was basically picking up where they left off with information that I got from the commentators, that this was how they match over the weekend went. So they got started with trading surprise roll-ups with each other, and this was the beginning of a nice back and forth between the two. But Serena Deeb was essentially in the beginning of this match in a 2-on-1 because she was getting attacked by Queen Aminata and Sakazaki, getting hit with all types of tag team, double team moves. But then whenever she went for the tag, Mariah May was way more concerned with getting her posing with the title, kissing the title. So Serena was in the match by herself, but she started to fight back. She started to get the momentum. And when she started to actually take control of the match by herself, Mariah May tagged herself in and took all the momentum from Deeb. She hit Queen Aminata with this nasty drop kick and was basically posing like she was the one who dealt all the damage. Mariah May was just being that mean asshole self of hers, and you can't help but love it. It was here that Sakazaki was making herself a household name for me, that making me really want to go do a little bit more research on her, because she was landing suplexes, hitting amazing dives. She was taking care of a 2-on-1 situation. She hit this nasty suplex on the Mariah May on top of Serena Deeb, and she was just German suplexing, just tossing everybody around. She hit this springboard off of the top rope on the Deeb, And whenever she was going for the pin, Mariah May was not having none of that, and she began to whip her with the belt. Obviously, this was not a this was not a no DQ match, so it ended in a disqualification. But Mariah May really just didn't care. She just wanted to get the match over and done with and dealt damage. And after she whipped her with the belt, it was just kind of the end of that. And then it led into a package with Mina Shirakawa, saying she was gonna come back, that Mariah May's different, but she is going to make her dramatic return, and we have something to look forward to. Unfortunately, this was the only women's match on AEW tonight, which is a no-go. AEW, please never do that again. You have a bunch of women on your roster. You have 2 hours. You have more than enough. There was so much on this show that you possibly could have cut. Please have more than one women's match on your programming. Just an unknown emperor. This next portion is when Private Party made their second and last mistake for a while, because Jon Moxley, Claudio, and Marina Shafir was making their way to the ring, and Private Party had the bright idea to attack them before they made it to the ring. And the funny part is, I want to say it was Zay. He got the jump on Moxley. Moxley did not move. Zay hit him with like 4 or 5 punches through his whole body into him. Jon Moxley just stood there and ate him while Marina grabbed him and slung him. And here, Claudio and Marina and Moxley straight up destroyed Private Party. They manhandled them. Jon Moxley tossed them from steel step to steel step. Claudio rammed them through the barricade. Marina was tossing them around. It was it got somewhat uncomfortable. Then Commander, he got abused last week. He didn't come out there with him, so it wasn't 3-on-2 or 3-on-3. You know, with Marina being the Michelin that she is, he came out. He hit a dive. He got a Saget uppercut from Claudio. He got murdered and choked out as well. Moxley grabbed the toolbox from under the ring. Marina and Claudio had Zay against the stage. Moxley had a microphone. He says, "You've been the same spot for 5 years. Why do you think that is?" That's because you're with this regime. We're going to help you. Then he took a hammer and he smashed Zay's hand, insinuating that he broke it to give them, man, this Moxley is crazy. Darby Allin finally came for the save. He didn't come before the hand breaking. He came after with his skateboard, and him and Moxley had a stare down. He said he's not the same kid he was 5 years ago. He's going to walk through Moxley and then not take back. He's going to win that AEW Heavyweight Championship in his hometown. And I don't know which way this match is going to go. This has so much jeopardy in it because I don't know who's going to win it. I honestly don't know. You can go with Moxley and have him be the one to retire Danielson, but you don't want Danielson to lose that title so soon. I mean, maybe he does. I don't know. Or you let Darby go and retire him, but I don't know. I'm enjoying this Jon Moxley character though. I am enjoying this Jon Moxley character. I'm very intrigued to see where they're gonna go, who else they're gonna target, and who else is going to stand up against them. This next match was another one-on-one that was set up from last week, and it was Ricochet taking on Beast Mortos. And I can say, going into this review of this match, that this match took me by surprise. I was expecting it to be big man, fast young man, speed versus power. In a way, it was still that, but Beast Mortos showed me a little bit more athleticism. He was essentially keeping up with Ricochet's flips. They traded handstands, they traded leg sweeps, they traded moonsaults, they traded dives, they were trading kicks throughout of it. I was expecting more of it to be, like I said, a powerhouse speedster, but these two are both hitting enziguris, and it was a nice back and forth to basically showcase that these two have offense, and Beast Mortos did a great job of wrangling me in as a fan to his. So every time he in the ring, I know to just lock in and expect the unexpected. Especially early in the match, we had a nice little moment where Ricochet went for a dive to the outside. Mortos caught him and then hit him with a power bomb and destroyed Ricochet's back. Ricochet didn't learn because he went for another dive later on. The moment was to have Beast catch him and flip into what they ended up doing. It still had the same effect. He was able to turn a power bomb into a destroyer. It was nice. Mortos hit a great avalanche, like over the top, followed like slam, military press slam on near fall. These two were trading near falls. They were trading roll ups. They were trading pins, and again, just trading athleticism. I would say, along with the main event, if you got a couple minutes, go back and watch this match. It is going to surprise you a little bit, like it surprised me. But Ricochet is on a path to Will Ospreay, so he was not going to lose here. He hit a crucifix slam. He hit that axe kick, and then he hit that reverse DDT. 1, 2, 3, Ricochet wins, and he continues on his journey to that international championship, which he is going to fight for on October 2nd. Word from Tony Khan. This match is most definitely a hit for everything that they did, and we have to kind of put a pin on October 2nd because that's when we get the first Will Ospreay Ricochet in AEW. And we know that they are going to fly off the moon if they can. So that's something for us to look forward to. Hangman was then in the middle of the ring with Tony Schiavone, and Tony asked him to clarify his comments last week on Hangman saying anybody who supported Swerve, everybody who was on his side, he's going to burn all of it down. Just like if Swerve had 1,000 houses, he'd burn them all 1,000 times over again. And Hangman didn't want to answer that question. Well, he kind of did. He said, he was going to take it down because he said what he was going to do. Swerve drove him to that place, and there's no coming back from that. And everybody that supported him, that was on his side, he's going to watch them fall and burn. Then he turned his attention to Tony Schiavone, like, hey, on the announcer's table, it sounded like you was really, really on his side. Like, we can talk about it. And before he could do any damage to Tony, Jeff Jarrett came out, met him in the ring. These two had a pull-apart brawl, and Jeff Jarrett was like, I'm tired of your shit. We gon' run it, and it's going to be me and you. So we already know that this was setting up for Jeff Jarrett versus Hangman, in which I'm sure Hangman's going to win. And then he's going to lead to somebody else that was on Swerve's side. Like, I don't know. But Hangman is another intriguing character in AEW. He is one of the better written ones in AEW. Hangman and Drew McIntyre are like neck and neck in character right now. Based off of what drove them to do what they're doing, you don't necessarily want to agree with them, but you can't argue what they're saying. So let's see how this goes. Let's see who's going to be next on this hit list. Main event time, and it was a big trios match with Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay, and Konosuke Takeshita taking on the Elite, which is the EVPs, the Young Bucks, and Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker, the man, the myth, the legend himself. And you hear the 6 names that I said in this match. It is a trios match. So, here with the review that I'm going to give on this match, like it's not going to give it any type of justice. It's just go, sit, watch it. It's high flying. Who started the match? Kyle Fletcher who started it? Kyle and Nicholas started it. And these two went high flying, like out the wazoo in the little quick couple of seconds that they had in the ring. Then Will Ospreay and Okada came in. And then this started the first like thread of storytelling in the night, because Takeshita wanted to get tagged in here, and Will Ospreay did not want to tag him in. He wanted to get his time because him and Okada has history as well in New Japan. So they wanted to show what they could do, because I want to say this is one of the first times that they interacted inside the AEW ring. So it was only right. So these two went high flying, which only left Matthew and Takeshita because Takeshita tagged himself in. He was tired of Will Ospreay hogging the light. So that was the storyline for the main event for the most part. Just 6 great wrestlers showcasing what they can do inside of the ring was one story. Another story was the cohesion of the Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay to Takeshita. Just that, and Takeshita not wanting to like Will Ospreay, not wanting to trust Will Ospreay, not wanting to tag Will Ospreay in. That was another underlying story. But I said all that to just wrap it up in one big bow. Go watch the match. It ended with Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay hitting this amazing hidden blade, showcasing their great tag team prowess, and then getting the pin on one of the Young Bucks, which is half of the tag team champions. So all it did was tell me that the Young Bucks are going to retain. Takeshita most likely is going to lose to Okada. Takeshita or Don Callis is going to turn on Will Ospreay, making Kyle Fletcher pick a side. But all 6 of these men can go, and all 6 of these men had storyline going into it. My reviews on trios matches and stuff is just because they're too high flying. There's so much going on. I'll just give my takeaways on it, and those are my takeaways from the main event. Great match. It most definitely was a hit. Everybody got to showcase what they can do. Will Ospreay hit, his offense with the flip off the ropes, the double kicks to the Young Bucks. Okada flipping off the crowd. Kyle Fletcher is one of my sleeper. Kyle Fletcher is what I would create in a WWE creative player. Like, he's 6'5", 6'6", can do everything from power moves to diving to kicks. He's a striker. Kyle Fletcher is a great wrestler in that ring, and I appreciate what he has to offer. But this AEW it didn't really drag on. It was nice. It got us to point A to point B. It's leading us to what it is, Grand Slam next week. And we just got to see how these dominoes fall. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. Check out any other videos here at the Empire. I do appreciate you. I will see you when I see you.